22 beautiful women, 22 promising careers cut short, 22 brutal murders that shocked the world. From Playboy playmates to beauty queens, from rising actresses to social media stars, none of their fame, beauty, or success could protect them from the darkness that found them. These are their stories. We've investigated police reports, court transcripts, and exclusive evidence from cases spanning 5 decades and 6 continents. Some of these details have never been revealed to the public until now. Number 22. Dorothy Stratton, Playboy Playmate of the Year 1980, rising Hollywood actress, but her estranged husband, Paul Snider, had other plans for her future. August 14, 1980, Los Angeles. Dorothy went to Snider's apartment to discuss their divorce. She never walked out alive. Snider shot her in the face with a 12-gauge shotgun, then turned the weapon on himself. Dorothy was just 20 years old, on the verge of movie stardom. She'd just filmed They All Laughed with director Peter Bogdanovich. Instead of premieres and red carpets, her story became a cautionary tale about the deadly price of leaving an abusive marriage. Number 21. Rebecca Schaeffer, rising television star, hit show My Sister Sam, magazine covers, but one obsessed fan would turn her doorstep into a crime scene. Robert John Bardo stalked Rebecca for 3 years. Love letters, obsessive photos. He hired a private investigator to find her home address. July 18, 1989. When Rebecca answered her apartment door that morning, Bardo shot her point blank in the chest with a .357 Magnum. She died instantly on her doormat. Rebecca was just 20 years old, on the verge of movie stardom. Number 20. Riva Steenkamp, South African model and television personality, FHM cover girl, law school graduate. February 14, 2013 should have been a romantic Valentine's Day. Instead, her boyfriend Oscar Pistorius, the celebrated Paralympic champion, shot her 4 times through a locked bathroom door. Pistorius claimed he thought she was an intruder, but prosecutors proved it was murder, the culmination of a volatile relationship marked by jealousy and control. Riva was 29 years old, building a television career and pursuing her law degree. Pistorius was convicted of murder and sentenced to 13 years in prison, but Riva's dreams died with her that Valentine's night. Number 18. Jasmine Fiore, former swimsuit and fitness model, reality TV personality, married to VH1 contestant Ryan Jenkins. But their fairy tale romance was about to become a horror story. August 15, 2009, Jasmine's body was found stuffed in a suitcase discarded in a dumpster in Buena Park, California. She'd been strangled. Her killer had removed her teeth and fingertips to prevent identification, but they made one crucial mistake. She was identified through the serial numbers on her breast implants. Jenkins fled to Canada, where he was found dead by suicide in a remote motel. Jasmine was 28 years old. Justice would never be served, and the truth died with her killer. Number 18. Landy Paraga, Miss Ecuador finalist 2022, social media influencer with 173,000 Instagram followers. April 28, 2024, Quevedo, Ecuador. Landy was live streaming her lunch to thousands of followers when 2 masked gunmen walked into the restaurant. Security cameras captured every second. One gunman approached her table directly and shot her 3 times in the chest. The other guarded the door. She died instantly while her live stream continued, her followers watching in horror as her feed went dark. But here's what police never revealed. Landy's name appeared in Ecuador's Operation Metastasis, exposing cartel connections. She was 23 years old, caught in a web of corruption she may never have fully understood. Number 17. Samira Frash, former French model, living the American dream in Tallahassee with her wealthy podiatrist husband, Dr. Adam Frash, and their 2 young daughters. February 22, 2014. Samira was found face down in her backyard pool. At first, it looked like a tragic drowning, but the autopsy revealed blunt force trauma to her head and water in her lungs. She'd been beaten, then drowned. The couple's marriage was turbulent, and neighbors had witnessed violent arguments. In 2017, Dr. Frash was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. Prosecutors proved he killed her during a custody dispute. Samira was 38 years old, her dreams of raising her daughters stolen forever. Number 16. Linda Sobek. Former Los Angeles Raiders cheerleader turned successful model and actress. November 16, 1995. What started as a routine photo shoot became her final day on Earth. Photographer Charles Rathbun hired Linda for what he claimed was a car advertisement shoot in the Angeles National Forest. She never returned home. Her body was buried in a shallow grave. She'd been beaten, sexually assaulted, and strangled. Rathbun claimed her death was accidental during a struggle, but evidence proved otherwise. He was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. Linda was 27 years old, a talented performer whose trust in a professional opportunity cost her everything. Number 15. Melissa Mooney. Los Angeles model and real estate agent, social media influencer with a bright future. September 2023. Her downtown LA apartment should have been her sanctuary. When friends couldn't reach her for days, they called for a welfare check. Police found her body stuffed inside her own refrigerator, bound with electrical cords and duct tape. The medical examiner determined she'd been tortured before being killed. Signs pointed to someone who knew her, someone she'd trusted enough to let into her home. A suspect has been charged with her murder. Melissa was 31 years old, building her career and helping others find their dream homes. Instead, she became the victim of unspeakable brutality in her own. Number 14. Monica Spear. Miss Venezuela 2004. Successful soap opera actress, beloved by millions across Latin America. January 6, 2014, Venezuela. Monica was traveling with her ex-husband and their 5-year-old daughter Maya when their car broke down on a remote highway. What happened next shocked a nation. Armed robbers ambushed their stranded vehicle. When the family tried to lock themselves inside the car, the criminals opened fire. Monica and her ex-husband were killed instantly. Miraculously, little Maya survived, hiding under her parents' bodies. Monica was 29 years old. Her murder sparked outrage about Venezuela's crime epidemic and the deadly cost of being successful in a country torn by violence. Number 13. Sally Ann Bowman. Rising British fashion model. Magazine covers. Designer campaigns. September 25, 2005. Should have been just another night out in South London. Sally had been celebrating her 18th birthday when she got into an argument with her boyfriend outside her home. After he left, she sat on her front steps, making phone calls to friends. Serial predator Mark Dixie was prowling the neighborhood. He attacked Sally, stabbing her multiple times before sexually assaulting her corpse. She died from her injuries on her own doorstep. The case went cold until 2006, when Dixie's DNA was collected after a bar fight. It matched evidence from Sally's murder. He was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Sally's 18th birthday became her final day, stolen by a monster who'd been hunting for his next victim. Number 12. Star Stowe. Playboy playmate, model, and actress, living in Florida, building her career and raising her young son. 1997. Some cases are solved, others haunt us forever. Star was found murdered in her Florida home, but her killer was never caught. Despite extensive investigations and multiple suspects, the case remains one of Florida's most notorious unsolved murders. Police believe someone she knew was responsible, someone who could get close enough to catch her off guard, someone who's been walking free for over 25 years. Star was a devoted mother who was working to build a better life for her child. Her murder remains unsolved, a reminder that sometimes beauty attracts monsters who are never brought to justice. Number 11. Christina Carlin Craft, model who had worked with Playboy and major brands. Social media influencer. August 2018, Ardmore, Pennsylvania. Christina met 30-year-old Jonathan Harris through a dating app. What seemed like a normal social media connection became a deadly encounter. After their first meeting, Christina was found strangled in her apartment. Harris had used a fake name and false information on his dating profile. Digital evidence and DNA linked him to her murder. He was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Christina was 36 years old, using social media to build her career and meet new people. Instead, she encountered a predator who'd been hunting online for victims. Number 10. Qandeel Baloch, Pakistani social media star and model. Bold, controversial, and breaking cultural barriers in a conservative society. Her online presence made her famous and marked her for death. July 2016, Qandeel was visiting her family home when her own brother, Wasim Azim, strangled her to death while she slept. He confessed to police, claiming he killed her to restore his family's honor because of her provocative social media posts and modeling work. Qandeel was 26 years old. Her murder sparked international outrage about honor killings and the deadly price women pay for challenging traditional expectations. Her brother was sentenced to life in prison, but Qandeel's fight for freedom cost her everything. Number 8. Maria Jose Alvarado, Miss Honduras 2014, preparing to compete in Miss World. November 13, 2014. She and her sister Zofia were attending a birthday party in Santa Barbara, Honduras. The sisters left the party with Zofia's boyfriend, Plutarco Ruiz, and his friend. They were never seen alive again. Their bodies were found days later, buried near a river. Both had been shot multiple times. Ruiz had killed them after an argument with Zofia, then tried to cover up the murders. He was convicted and sentenced to decades in prison. Maria Jose was just 19 years old, days away from representing her country on the world stage. Instead, her beauty crown became a symbol of the femicide epidemic plaguing Latin America. Number 7. Adia Shabani, Macedonian model and aspiring actress, living in Los Angeles, pursuing the American dream in Hollywood. February 2018, she disappeared without a trace. For weeks, her family and friends searched for answers. Her social media went silent. Her phone went straight to voicemail. Then her car was found abandoned. Months later, her body was discovered in the Hollywood Hills. She died from blunt force head trauma, and her death was ruled a homicide. The case revealed she'd been involved with someone who wanted her silenced permanently. Adia was 25 years old, working multiple jobs to support her acting dreams. Instead of movie sets, she ended up in a morgue, another victim of Hollywood's dark side. 16 women, 16 different stories, but notice the pattern emerging. Stalkers who couldn't accept rejection, partners who demanded control, predators who saw beauty as something to possess and destroy. And we're not even done. 6 more cases await, each more disturbing than the last, each representing a different way that being visible, successful, and beautiful became a death sentence. What you're about to hear next includes some of the most brutal cases in this investigation. Cases that will change how you think about fame, social media, and the price of beauty in our world. Number 6. Eve Stratford, Playboy bunny and model in 1970s London, working at the exclusive Playboy Club, rubbing shoulders with celebrities and wealthy clients. March 1975. Eve was found murdered in her Leighton flat, beaten to death with a blunt instrument. The scene suggested she knew her killer. There were no signs of forced entry. Despite extensive investigations and multiple suspects, including Playboy Club clients and acquaintances, her murder remains unsolved nearly 50 years later. Eve was 22 years old, using her beauty and charm to build a life in London's glamorous nightclub scene. Her killer has never been found, walking free for half a century, while Eve's family still seeks justice. Number 5. Nona Dirksmeyer, Arkansas beauty queen and college student. December 15, 2005, Russellville, Arkansas. She was found beaten to death in her apartment with a mallet. Her boyfriend found her body and became the prime suspect, but DNA evidence couldn't definitively link him to the murder. Multiple trials followed, but none resulted in conviction. The case remains officially unresolved, despite extensive investigations and prosecutions. Someone got away with murder, and Nona's family still searches for answers. Nona was 18 years old, studying at Arkansas Tech University, with dreams of bigger stages. Instead, she became another unsolved murder case, her killer still walking free among us. Number 4. Alexandra Petrova, Miss Russia titleholder, international model, August 2000, Tolyatti, Russia. Beauty and success that attracted deadly attention. Alexandra was shot dead while sitting in her car in broad daylight. Multiple gunshots from close range suggested a professional assassination rather than random crime. The murder bore hallmarks of organized crime execution, possibly connected to her relationships with wealthy Russian businessmen during the chaotic post-Soviet era. Her case was never solved, lost in the corruption and violence that plagued Russia during that period. Alexandra was 23 years old, representing her country's beauty on international stages. Instead, she became another victim of Russia's lawless transition period. Number 3. Liliana Lozano, Colombian actress and model, star of popular telenovelas. January 2008. Fame in Colombia during the height of cartel violence was a dangerous game. Liliana was found murdered in her Bogotá home, killed execution-style with multiple gunshots. The professional nature of the killing suggested cartel involvement. During this period, cartels specifically targeted successful entertainers and public figures, seeing their wealth and influence as threats or opportunities for extortion. Liliana's murder sent shockwaves through Colombia's entertainment industry, where being successful and visible could literally get you killed. She was 35 years old at the peak of her television career when violence found her at home. Number 2. Alexia Mupende, Rwandan model and actress, rising star in East Africa's growing entertainment industry. January 8, 2019, Kigali, Rwanda. She was stabbed to death in her Kigali home. Police sought a domestic worker in connection with her murder, suggesting someone with access to her private space. Her death highlighted the vulnerability of successful women in developing entertainment markets, where security and protection systems often lag behind rapidly growing celebrity culture. Alexia was working to build Rwanda's film and fashion industries while establishing herself internationally. She was 28 years old, representing the new generation of African entertainment stars. Her murder silenced a voice that was just beginning to be heard globally. Number 1. Melissa Nordell, Swedish fashion model, working in Stockholm's competitive modeling industry, 2001. Even in progressive Sweden, beauty attracted deadly obsession. Melissa was murdered by her ex-boyfriend, who couldn't accept the end of their relationship. The case highlighted how domestic violence crosses all cultural and geographic boundaries. Her killer was convicted and sentenced under Swedish law, but Melissa's death became a catalyst for discussions about stalking and domestic violence in Scandinavian countries. Melissa was 24 years old, building her career in one of the world's most progressive societies. But even in Sweden, beauty and independence could trigger fatal obsession in the wrong person.